The normalizing of taking mental health days is troubling. I'm absolutely a supporter of workers taking time off to maintain their mental well-being. But the idea that it's an acceptable and inherent byproduct of employers pushing workers beyond reasonable and healthy expectations of productivity is absolutely troubling. That workers should spend their own sick days to cope with an ever-diminishing work-life balance, rather than employers being forced to adhere to humane standards and expectations, is absolutely maddening. We cannot accept a future where we're pushed to our absolute mental limits and have to choose when we can afford to spend a sick day to recharge. I didn't expect such a great post based off the title. And you're right. They should be "You pushed too hard, now you suffer for it" by me taking a paid day off to deal with it day. We can shorten it, I guess. It's a band-aid. Things are getting worse, and mental health will deteriorate. I was once written up for calling and citing mental health issues. I have several diagnoses including PTSD and major depression. My boss told me I need to arrange to care for my mental health on my own time. When I tried to use my sick time for the sick day I had taken, I was told that that could only be used for medical-related issues. I explained that my mental health, which stems from my legally defined disabilities, were medically related, and he dead-ass scoffed at me and still refused. I reported to the EEOC and resigned effective immediately. I think it's troubling there is even a different word for a special kind of sick day. If I'm home with food poisoning, nobody calls it a bowel health day. Similarly, I'm troubled by the push for daycare, pre-K, after-school care and the like. Maybe pay people enough so they can work less hours and not have a stranger raise their kids. I get that these programs would help people, but it doesn't get to the root of the problem. It is very troubling for sure. But it's also a sign that maybe we're getting ready to grab out the torches and pitchforks? 'Cause I'm ready when y'all are. Was ready to argue mostly 'cause I'm taking Monday off. For reasons having to do with stress. Honestly, if I had my choice between a healthy workload where I don't want to cry walking out of the building and taking random days off so that I can stand to face the chaos again later, I'd take the boring, healthy workplace. Ironically, in practice I probably wouldn't. I love my chaotic job, but I really wish we had enough staff that my job wasn't murder. This thought was more or less directly inspired by Historia Civilis' latest video that really threw into harsh perspective the absurdity of modern working hours in relation to the entirety of human history until the last 500 years or so. At my last job at a big software company, I used to take wellness days, no guilt, no illness, none of their effing business. I support a 24-hour approach. There is no reason for us to toil away when technology is what it is now. 3 8-hour days or 4 6-hour days is what we deserve. You should get mental health days, sick days, and vacation days. 1 week mental health, 1 week vacation, 2 weeks sick days. In the US, we are encouraged to sacrifice ourselves for the benefit of our jobs. This system is not healthy. Never has been. I'm heartened by the changing attitudes I see, at least in my corner of the white-collar world. Maybe in a couple more generations things will look different, but something this big doesn't change quickly, especially when it doesn't generate profit in the short term. When more people start killing themselves at work and taking out their bosses and coworkers, mental health days will be a given. Just do it to a lawmaker's family member and see things change real fast. Could try to think of it as pressure in the right direction. Not getting a 4-day workweek tomorrow. Lately, taking any time off is more trouble than it's worth. Gotta go through the whole Who's covering all of your responsibilities while you're gone so there are zero delays whatsoever? No one, because they're all too busy and not up to speed at all on this project. You should probably consider what happens when they get splattered by a bus. That's too expensive and we'd never win any bids. I disagree. We need more sick days and the chance to take them as needed. There's a lot of things that seem bothering about this. The main thing being that if our work conditions were better and our quality of life was better, mental health issues wouldn't be as high. Mental health days just function the same without needing a doctor's note. It's not fixing the core problems. Just trying to sound trendy or progressive while workers are still being punished. Agreed. By the way, it's byproduct. Very true. I used every single one of my vacation days this year for mental health days and I still feel burnt out. My coworkers kept asking where I was going for vacation. It's awkward to be like nowhere. I just need a day off. Mental health days as a phrase is meant to be demeaning. Why I take my time off is none of your fucking business. Give me more time off. Make workdays more tolerable. Pay me more. Top 10 posts that the title annoys me, but when I actually read it I agree. Okay, this is the second post in a short time frame where that catches my eye. Is it just commonly accepted even in this sub that the amount of paid sick days is severely limited in the US? That you have to earn them through uninterrupted work days? This again is a part where I can only advocate for paid sick days, which are there for exactly this kind of problems. You seem to just accept as a matter of fact that sick days are supposed to be severely limited. I hope it just feels that way, and maybe I get a wrong impression here due to the language barrier. We should go back to the days when you didn't get days off for mental health. Stop the toxic work environment. Workers generate the most profit for zombie corporations just before they are at their breaking point. And this is why mass shootings happen. Jays. I salute your hot take, good sir. This is a great point. But not all mental illnesses can be cured by better work-life conditions. Sometimes you still need extra time off to focus on your mental health. The very notion of sick days was unfathomable to me before I came to the US. 32-hour workweek, no loss of pay would help solve this. I'm so burnt out though, I'd rather a 28-hour workweek and I know I'd get more shit done. Wanted to be mad at the premise, but your supporting argument is incredibly sound. What this country needs to learn is that these people that corporations push to the ragged limits today are the workplace shooters of tomorrow. The work-life balance is very important, however, employers should not push people beyond their limits. It took massive strikes and a whole lot of bloodshed to get basic rights in the workplace in the late 19th and early 20th century. Bosses won't do shit if nobody forces them to. TBH, this has always happened. We just used to have to pretend we were sick 30 years ago. This is more just people being honest about why they need a day off. Y'all get sick days? Mental health days are not just for work-related issues. There are many possibilities in life that may cause someone to need a day of downtime. A day off work is a day off work. If I have to frame it as a mental health day, then so be it. The worst part is places that say they offer it, but it's very clear that no one takes it and it's looked down on. My company knows I'd had cancer in 2020 and IVF this year. These things resulted in a lower immune system and obviously mental stress. Yet they still have nearly fired me and put me in an improvement plan.